Random enlightened commentary.
I was in a conversation with a couple of good acquaintances of mine recently, and we got into a conversation about beer, and obviously I cannot relate because I think beer is disgusting. To all the people out there who love beer, I'm sorry, this message is not for you clearly, but yeah, I think beer is disgusting. And to my credit, my first experience with beer was a cheap, watered down version, so it just ruined the entire experience for me, honestly. But anywho, one of them mentioned how years back they were the point person to get the beer since they knew a guy who knew a guy who knew. No, I'm just kidding. They knew a guy who could make fake IDs. And that got me wondering, does checking for fake IDs to get into a club or a bar even work anymore? Like, is that still a thing? Or is that older generational thing? I want to understand if this is still done in today's world. And I feel like people may have to start getting creative with the up and coming generations because technology is moving fast. Heck, I'm sure there's a DIY video on how to make your own fake ID somewhere out there. We're gonna have to start getting creative if this is still a thing. Imagine people being asked to answer random trivia questions from the time they're claiming to have been born in with their fake IDs. Like, you can collect their phones at the door and then pop the question. If you don't know who McGruff the crime dog is, you're too young, pal. For those of you who know, you know what those videos did to us. It would be like setting off on a quest to party and then having to answer a question at the gate or a giant sphinx that has you solve riddles. At least making it an adventure or something. And honestly, that sounds a lot more fun, actually. That would be enough of a reason to get me to want to go to the club, quite honestly, just to answer random trivia questions. Oh, I guess they do kind of have that, but it's called trivia night at restaurants. But you get my point. I think the idea of going to the club just got hyped up so much. Like, I would hear it in music, I would see it in movies and music videos. People would talk about it at school. Now, I didn't even care to go at any point in my life. Now, don't get me wrong. Your girl knows how to have fun. But, the club scene, it wasn't my thing. It's like, yeah, it's there, but I can do other things to have fun, quite honestly. It's like that one movie or TV show or anime that gets hyped up just a little bit too much to the point where it has almost the opposite effect. And people will advocate for it, and that's perfectly fine. I know people will say it's a great way to meet people, to which I'd agree. It's a relaxed atmosphere, and you'll certainly meet people. But not the entire freaking population of the world will be crammed into one bar or club, okay? I'm confident that wherever I go, I will meet people, no matter what. Some people might say it's a great place to let loose and chill. Again, agreed. But so too is my home, or the movies, or a nice restaurant, or the bowling alley, or you get the point. You can dance all night long, some people will say. Clearly, you have not seen me at 1 or 2 a.m. jamming out on a weeknight in my living room, or at a friend's place singing karaoke. Some people will still say you get to meet dating prospects. Well, let's be honest, no one says it like that unless they're trying to sell you on some sort of dating service, but you get my point. And I replied to that, we have apps for that, my friend. Crap, now I'm starting to sound like a dating service. But it's true. You can tell I'm a zillennial. Man, we have an app for that. Yeah, we have apps for that. Oh, and another one. You can drink fancy cocktails, some people might say. Yes, but again, just at the club for that? I mean, some of you guys get turned on a Tuesday, so. And some of you are not doing it at the club either. Am I right? This is a public service announcement to remember to drink responsibly. I advocate nothing that would besmirch the souls of the youth. The only thing that you might have got me on is the atmosphere. But even that can be recreated by a trip to Party City and a DIY video. Club goers might roast me on this. Look, if you enjoy the club, enjoy it. I'm just messing around here. There's nothing wrong with going to the club or enjoying going to the club. I'm just having fun talking about this because it was seriously a question. Like, it all started with the whole notion of, do people even use fake IDs anymore to get into the club, or do they just have other means of doing so? I'm curious if that's the case, if people still use them. But, I'm obviously not advocating for you using a fake ID. Your choices are your own. Remember that. But if you happen to go to the club with a fake ID, just remember, McGruff the crime dog is watching.